Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to do a review on our spelling program for 3rd grade. We are using the BJU Spelling 3 program this year. We just finished week 3 and I wanted to give a review of how that's going. So this is our first time using BJU. In the past we've used the ACE paces and we've done mostly the word building paces with that. And what we felt with that is that it was just a lot of words. In 2nd grade I think he had about 40 words on each of his spelling tests after each pace, which was about 12 times during the year. And it was just a bit much because their way of getting him to learn the words is you write it 6 times. So it was a lot of writing and he really didn't enjoy that. It wasn't fun. So we wanted to find something different for him this year. And we went to the Homeschool convention in Richmond in June and we came across the BJU spelling program and we were kind of torn between, do we want to use this, do we want to use Spectrum, because Spectrum was a little bit easier. I'm really glad so far that we went with this. It's been a really easy program to use, easy to follow, and it's fun because each day is a little bit different for him. So this is what the student workbook looks like. He basically does 1 page a day, except for on the 5th day, Friday, where he does the test, and that's it. The lessons are really easy to follow. They're simple. I'm really enjoying the teacher's textbook. So I'm just going to give you guys a rundown of what a week looks like with this. So we're about to start week 4, okay? So day 1, he's going to do this page, and it shows me all the answers, and it tells me right here what I am teaching him. And you know what? I didn't go to school to be a teacher. I just have my regular high school education with a little bit of college, not enough to get a degree or anything. So this is really easy to follow. If you're concerned about, well, how can I teach my kid? I'm not good at that. This is really easy, okay? It tells you up here what he's learning that week. So this week he's learning the long I sound, okay? And then it tells you in blue what to ask. So I'm supposed to write prize and quite for display on the board. As you can see our board, we use it quite a lot. What letters are used to spell the long I sound in prize and quite? I and silent E is what he should answer. It shows me in pink what his answer should be. So just in case you don't know, it tells you the answer. Super easy. Then it says the long I can be spelled with I and a consonant followed by a silent E. Direct a student to circle the long I spelling in each word. So it gives you a little bit of activity. It gives you the directions. It's really easy to follow along. And what we do for day 1, they have you doing a little 10-word quiz at the bottom of day 1 or at the end of day 1 spelling lesson. We do it first, so he has 20 spelling words, okay, for each week. But it only gives him 10 on day 1 to practice, just to kind of see where he's at with those long I sounds or whatever sounds you're working on that week. We give it first, that way I can see if any of them he's struggling with before, so I know to keep an eye out on that. So it does that. It gives a little lesson on the long I spelled I-G-H, long I spelled I-E, then compound words, and then it goes into word sorting, which he sorts the words based on their sounds. Is it the I consonant E, the I-G-H, or the I-E? And then he has 2 memory words. So woman and woman are his 2 memory words this week. It's usually 2 words, like a couple weeks ago he had R and R, A-R-E-O-U-R, and it teaches you how to teach them how to properly use it and what's the difference when you use this version versus when you use that version. And then you have 2 review words from the previous week, or one of the previous weeks. So total of 20 words. And they also do, on the final test, dictating a sentence, so you will read a whole sentence to them and they have to write it out on their spelling test. So not only does it have one of the week's spelling words in it, it also has other words, and they have to remember to use that punctuation and capitalization along with spelling all the words correctly. So it's really easy to follow. So far he's enjoying it. The lessons are pretty quick. Doesn't take us more than a couple of minutes. Another great thing that we really liked about BJU, in the back of their teaching textbooks, a lot of them have this Teacher's Toolkit CD. So there's different activities and things that you can print off. So you get the teacher's book, you get this student workbook, okay? And then on top of it, the Teacher's Toolkit has the sheets that you need. I went ahead and printed the whole year's worth of stuff. That way I never get to a point where I'm like, oh, I didn't print enough and I don't have enough paper, I don't have ink, and I can't do lessons for several days until it comes in. So I went ahead and made all my binders ahead. So this is what that day one is gonna look like. It's just 10 words. And this is the same one they use each week. That's just a general printout with the 10 blank spaces. So that's for day one. Then they also give you extra practice sheets. So this is another word sort. Basically the same thing he did on day one, except you can give it on day 2, day 3, day 4, whenever, as a review for practice. It's pretty quick and easy. He doesn't seem to mind doing it. Then here's another one, word meaning. It gives him 2 words and he has to use the right version of the word. There's different activities like that for the different weeks that they have on the disc for you to print off. You don't have to use them, but if you feel like you need something extra or a little bit more for them to do, they're good to have. So this they also do on Wednesday. So day 3, the middle of the week, they do a practice test. Now this isn't meant to be graded. This is meant for practice. So you can see, okay, you did Monday's lesson, you did Tuesday's lesson, and you do this, and then see where they're at. Are there any things that they're struggling with? Are there any certain parts that they're struggling with? Are they struggling with the IGHs or the I consonant E's or anything like that? You can see how they're doing. And then you still have 2 more days to work. 1 more day to work on, no, 2 more days to work on it, because you have Wednesday's lesson, which is day 3, so you do this first and then you do that Wednesday lesson. And then you have Thursday's lesson, and then there's another review sheet. They don't have the same type of reviews each week. Sometimes they have card activities or something else. And then on Friday, they just have their test with the 20 words and the 2 sentences. And then we don't have a lesson with Fridays. Now, I keep saying Friday, it's just day 5. It doesn't have to be done on Friday, but that's when we do it. Some of the other activities they have is they had these cards, okay? And I printed them out on cardstock and I cut them out, and he was learning how to alphabetize. So these were all laid out and he had to put them in alphabetical order. Then there was these cards one week where I said a word and he had to hold up the right card to tell me what sound it made or how it was spelled. And he liked that. That was a lot of fun. And we ended up actually doing something similar, using whiteboards and holding stuff up, because he enjoyed that so much. We were able to cross that over into something else. So now to show you back in the book. So on day 1, you teach the basics and you sort the letters into the different sound types. That's day 1. Day 1 is always a word sort. Okay. Day 2 is always a word study. Okay. So here's an example of day 4. Okay. So he's going to study the different words and figure out okay, here's what it says. Match the long I patterns with the words on the pies. Color each pie according to the key. So the blue pie is IGH, the red pie is I consonant E, and the yellow pie is IE. So he is reviewing what he learned the day before, but in a different and fun way. So it isn't just writing it every time. He's still doing it and figuring it out, but not in the same way. So that's enjoyable for day 2. Day 3, you do that practice test first, and then you do proofreading. So it shows him wrong ways and right ways, and he has to pick out what the wrong ways are. Or sometimes he has to pick out the right ways. So last week he had to pick out the wrong ways. This one he has to pick out the right ones. So sunrise has a Z and necktie has a GH. But miles, M-I-L-E-S, is spelled right, so he picks the correct one. And then over here, he has to do another word study and complete each word by adding the correct long I pattern. So he has to fill that in. And it's not too much. That was the one thing we did find with the word building paces last year, was it was just too much. The 6 of the exact same word multiple times, he was getting very sloppy because he was rushing through it. With this, he's learning it, but he doesn't need it 100 times to get it. So this has been amazing. As you can see, there's only 12 questions for this day. So it's like a short 5-minute lesson. When you have the practice test and stuff, it takes a couple more minutes, but not much. We can usually do a spelling lesson in 15, 20 minutes. So it's pretty quick. And then day 4, okay, so this week on day 4, he's doing writing, where he's gonna write a recipe. On other day 4s, they do dictionary skills. There's a lot of dictionary skill and looking it up and knowing what they mean and what word forms they're using. Does it have an ED? Is it a compound word? And then Friday is the know it. Day 5 is the know it, where you do the test. You test on those words that you did that week. And like I said, there's 2 review words from some of the previous weeks. It could be the week before, it could be week 3 and week 1 and week 5 and week 7, or whatever he's already learned. They'll throw 2 words in each week, and those are the review words. And then there's the 2 memory words, So I highly recommend the BJU spelling. I think it is awesome for homeschooling. It's very easy to follow as a parent. I don't have any difficulty correcting it or teaching the lessons to him. I'm not getting lost, he's not getting lost, he is comprehending the information. So I would definitely give this 5 stars. Very enjoyable, and I hope this video helped. If you like this video, if you have any questions about the books that I didn't answer, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I will try to get back to you and let you know. If you like this, you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe and that like button, and we'll see you guys next time.